Hi everyone, and welcome to the Aquarius January 2023 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone and welcome. Now this reading is general. I'm changing up my readings a bit, where I'm going to start to actually do a reading for each sign each week, because I find that the readings are a little bit more clear and concise when we're looking at a smaller period of time than when I was doing them monthly. So we're going to see what comes out for you here, Aquarius. So first I'm going to pull a card to see what is the energy you're bringing into the week. Then we'll look at what's going on around you. And then we'll take a look at any blocks that you need to be aware of or any challenges and how to overcome them. Okay, and then we're also looking too at what possibly you might be actually unlocking for yourself. Are there any opportunities coming in as well? All right, so Aquarius, we have the King of Swords, which interestingly enough, this is your energy. So this is an Aquarius card in the tarot. So you are coming through very strong on the mental plane, which is what I would call your superpower. You are a strong fixed air sign, and you have the ability as part of your superpowers to basically kind of go up into what I call the ethers or the ethereal zone, and you kind of connect directly to source energy, spirit, and you really are able to kind of bring down these innovative, interesting, kind of outside of the box ideas and inspirations, and you bring them down to make manifest in the physical. And it's really through, I have a lot of Aquariuses in my life. My brother is one of them. But I do find that even with friends, and when you look back and you look at some very big historical or historically influential people, many of them are Aquariuses because of that ability to really kind of bring something down that has never actually touched the earth. And you guys have that ability. And you're really owning that right now with the King of Swords. There's an element with the King of Swords that really speaks to truthfulness, fairness, and kind of just, kind of cutting through the BS in a way of just being very clear and concise, looking at the facts, being able to make clear, concise decisions based on that, but also, again, to do so from a place of fairness. And I really like that. You're coming in strong. Now, in your external environment, I think the reason why you're coming in strong here is because there's been a kind of back and forth. There's almost a feeling here of there's something that is around you, either an individual or it could even just be an environment where there is a decision that needs to be made, and yet there has been a lack of a decision being made. So this is truly indecisiveness. This is when you can see the individual here sitting with two swords of equal weight and length. And it's almost like, well, how do I choose when they seem to be the same? Which one is actually the better sword? Which one is actually my sword, my truth, more in alignment with me? And I'm getting the feeling here that for many of you, you are actually going to be put in a position where you have to make a decision, where there's something here where it's time that this kind of flip-flopping or the indecision, you get to be the one to kind of come in and say, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is the decision, and this is why. Now, we're kind of looking here, we're going from the past up to the present energy. So in the past, we have death. Now, this doesn't have to scare anybody. This doesn't necessarily mean that someone has passed away. This simply can refer to a version of yourself has passed away, or a version of how you lived, or something in your life had to kind of be taken away in order to be transformed. Now, I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to see what's underneath this. Justice. Interesting. I think for some of you, there may have been either a contractual agreement. You actually, for some of you, may be worrying about the end of a contractual agreement. So for some of you, this could be actually where maybe there was something here around the end of a contract with work, the end of a contract with a marriage, or the start of a contract. So this could also be where some part of yourself, this would be like getting married and suddenly the single person who you were now had to go away. That lifestyle that you led before is gone. This could also be for those of you who are retiring. It may be that, the contract was up. Justice can mean a legal binding contract or a major readjustment in your life. So this could also speak to, again, if you got married, if you retired, if you left one job to sign a contract with another job, all of a sudden an aspect of your life is changed. And there was worry around that. So whatever this is, there's been a lot of sleepless nights with the 9 of Swords coming in. But now in the present, you have this beautiful ability to connect with others, to celebrate with others with the 3 of Cups. So I think for many of you, there was a lot of worry, a lot of stress going on around whatever this change was, whatever part kind of had to go away. And now you're really stepping into this place of realization that there's a lot to celebrate with others. There's a lot, it's almost like finding your tribe. And it was kind of like all for naught. But somehow this energy here, this celebratory energy, this wanting to come together with others, is highlighting, I think, again, a point of indecision for yourself. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull additional cards here. We're going to get a little deeper into the message. We're going to look at the blocks. So what are the blocks and the challenges? And then what does Spirit actually recommend here for you to really bring this focused, steady, stable mental energy forward to really make this decision that's waiting for you on this other side? King of Wands. Ooh, okay, that's Leo energy. This is also the energy of really stepping up into that, kind of boss energy. That's what I always see with the King of Wands, that boss type, fiery. Oh yeah, here's the 9 of Swords again. But someone who really takes pride in leading from a place of what they're passionate about. They're not afraid to share it with others, and they're not afraid to make those decisions. The King of Wands energy I always see is kind of like the Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos. Like pick somebody, Oprah Winfrey, the individual who knows what they're passionate about, and they just go out and do it. But for many of you, there's something around a worry about stepping into that for yourself. That if you go and if it's almost like either you're trying to be too humble or for some of you, I'm actually feeling, which is interesting, it's almost like if you lean into this part of yourself, that there's a feeling that it almost might get away from you. That then suddenly you're going to have to bear either the responsibility of kind of maintaining that level of visibility, or that maybe you're not going to be good enough at what you're doing. And with the 3 of Wands, so the 3 of Wands comes into the heart of your reading. This is what Spirit's asking you to embrace. 3 of Wands, basically Spirit's, that's a little too many cards there. Let's see if we get just a few less. Didn't see the Queen of Pentacles, so we'll see if she comes out again. But the 3 of Wands is one where your ships are coming in. And I think with Spirit really asking you to embrace this energy, there's almost this element of preparing yourself in this moment with this beautiful kind of clear-headedness of preparing yourself for what's coming in, for the new, that there's something here that's going to be very supportive of what you're passionate about. But it's almost like you first have to believe in yourself. There's a strong energy of that coming through, of it's time for you to believe in yourself. It's time for you to really recognize, I think, the strength of your passion and how you can lead from that place. So yeah, we have the Queen of Wands, and I love it. And the 3 of Pentacles. So very interesting. You guys have King of Wands and Queen of Wands, bookending the 2 challenges that you have. And what's interesting about that is that this is a divine masculine and feminine couple. So for many of you, you are either you are rebalancing that possibly in your experience, that maybe you have an individual in your life who is, that embodies this energy in the feminine or the masculine. Now, it doesn't actually have to be assigned to physical sexual orientation. We talk about masculine and we talk about feminine. Masculine is more of the forward pushing type energy. When we talk about King of Wands, again, these are the innovative business owner, somebody along those lines who's doing something new and pushing something forward. Now, the Queen is the opposite. She's the feminine energy, which is receptive. So it's, again, balancing out. We can't always be pushing and we can't always be taking. But the receptive energy is that she knows she can create for herself what she wants where she is, that the magic lies within taking action from what she's passionate about, but not necessarily going out there, let's say, to start a business. She may instead say, I really want to find something more just fulfilling in my current experience. And so she'll just almost like change her whole experience from the inside out, one step at a time, by simply kind of waving her magic wand. There's a little bit of that kind of, witch archetype come through with her. But I think for many of you, there's a feeling here of having to perhaps balance this energy of pushing and being receptive at the same time. With the Three of Wands right dead set in the middle, you have lots of wands here. So this is all about kind of fire and taking action and pushing forward. That with the Three of Wands, it's really being open to the possibilities of what is coming in for you. That there's this, you can see this individual, she's, in the desert, and it looks like she's growing lotus flowers. So she's almost like helping become part of the creative process. She's not just waiting for her ships to come in. She's actually starting to create the environment that will support whatever comes in for her. And in order for her to do that, she's going to have to really embrace both of these energetic archetypes of taking action from a place of passion. Now we have the Eight of Swords on the other side, which is one of mental entrapment. This is a card where we are wandering aimlessly in a mental labyrinth of our own making, where we are never meant to actually find the way out. We are meant to actually kind of convince ourselves to stay in a comfort zone, to stay doing something we don't like, to stay in a relationship that no longer serves, in a workplace that doesn't work for us anymore. And we just kind of go down this thing of where we say, well, but if I leave this job, then, or if I have to stay in this job because I have to make money. So I can't actually work on my side business because I have to keep bringing in money through my 9-to-5, and I'm so exhausted and I never have to. So you just stop yourself right there. First point. Or this can be where we go down the kind of rabbit hole where we're like, well, I'd love to move, but it's, I might not find a house. I might not be able to sell my house for as much as I want. And what if I move someplace else and it doesn't actually support me? And then I'd have to find a new job. And then if I can't find a job, I'll be out of money. And then you're back to square one. And you're still unhappy about where you live. So it's kind of one of those things where this is saying, prepare for what you want to come in. And the way we know what we want to come in is by embracing the King of Wands energy. You're being asked to embrace the forward pushing energy. You're being asked to, because this is your main point of challenge, this is your main block, is stepping into the masculine energy and kind of taking the reins. And this is saying, it's not about fearing, with the Nine of Swords, what could happen, or, what if I do decide to make this decision and it's based on what I'm passionate about. I want to move because I'm passionate about going over there and living in a place that's more suited to me, or I'm passionate about something else now, so it's time for me to leave this job and go towards the other job. But there's something here around understanding that once you take the lead, it's not going to, I think for many of you fear the responsibility. And that's coming through really strong. You fear that responsibility, and it's saying that responsibility won't feel like responsibility when you're taking action from a place of passion. And how do I know that? Because then you go into the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is someone who is just on fire with doing what they love. And that's what brings in the Three of Pentacles. Building in the physical with others towards something new. Her fire is highly attractive. Remember, she's a receptive energy. So she actually she draws people to her through what she does, through what she loves. And they in turn actually help her manifestation happen. But I think what you don't realize is, again, that responsibility that you fear a little bit is actually what's going to be the very thing that once you tap into working towards what you're passionate about and working from that place, it's going to attract others towards you because they're going to be lit on fire themselves. That's the beautiful thing about fire and wand energy specifically in our experience. The more we take action from a place of passion, the more we work with our eternal flame, that flame actually it actually helps to catch fire, the eternal flame of others around us. It's like literally we're carrying around a burning torch and somebody gets close to us, and just in the sharing of what we do and how we do it, theirs gets lit as well, and it gives them that courage to also, and when we think of King of Wands, it's the Leo courageous energy. It gives them the courage to make that decision too. So for some of you, this could be, again, making that decision for a home move, making the decision for a career move, making the decision even for maybe a workplace. Maybe your workplace has been on the fence between like doing something or not doing something, and you're the one that's going to come in and spearhead the new initiative. So there's a big emphasis here, but it's going to bring in support and celebration from others. That's the beautiful thing here. There's a lot to celebrate right now, and many people want to share in your happiness or share in your success. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. We'll get a little deeper into this message, and then I'll pull a final card for the reading. All right, Aquarius, let's see about the King of Wands. What do you need to know about the King of Wands? We have, here's the King of Wands again, double confirmation. You have the Queen of Swords, Five of Wands, King of Wands. I love it. So there's a fear here around kind of getting into the mix. The Five of Wands is when we're getting back on the horse, where we're going kind of out into the open market to see what we're capable of. And I think for many of you with the King of Wands coming in, you're going to realize you're way more capable than you thought, that you are the king. You're not just a novice stepping in here to kind of step up to the plate and try your hand at something. This is saying you're a king. Own it. And don't be afraid to go out there into the open market or into a competitive area. And this could be like maybe where you're afraid to put your hat in the ring to spearhead that initiative because you think, well, what if I'm not good enough? Or what if someone else beats me to the punch? This is saying put your hat in the ring and trust me, you're going to be the one that is selected, and you're going to be the one that impresses. The Queen of Swords coming in, it's interesting because here again, we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, the masculine and the feminine. The Queen of Swords is one who is very clear on her personal story. She knows what she's gone through. She knows the strength of what she has survived, of the lessons learned. And so there's a kind of a reminder here of getting back to that place of look how far you've come. You've been able to overcome every hurdle that's been placed in front of you, and look at how it's created your story. I like in general the Queen of Wands or Queen of Swords because she's one who gets to share. She's the one who actually will tell people about what she's gone through and about what she's capable of and all the lessons that she's learned. And this is how we actually ourselves kind of spread the seeds of wisdom and knowledge, because the more we kind of gift people with what we know and what we've survived and the lessons we've learned, well, then others can build on that. So keep that in mind, that for many of you, it's in the sharing of your story that is going to allow you to really, I think, to connect with others, and to, I think, also give you the courage to step up into this leadership archetypal role here. And to be very clear that, yes, you absolutely can handle the responsibility, and it will feel like fun at the end of the day. Remember, your ships are coming in. You're being asked to embrace this energy because you're co-creating with it. The more you get clear as to what you're passionate about, the more the right things come in to support that passion. So the Nine of Swords, we have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, I think you're worried about putting down a big burden. You're worried about something you have long felt that you've had to carry. Yeah, and Six of Swords, and moving on. Transcending that. Transcending the burden you've carried for a long time. And this is beautiful because, again, we're bringing in the Wands energy. We're bringing in the, it's a closing out of a cycle. Yes, you might have had to bear a burden for quite some time in the actions you've taken and what you've done in the day-to-day, but it's done. And you don't have to worry that if you step up into this energy, it's going to just add another wand to the mix. Instead, it's actually going to allow you to put down everything that doesn't support the one wand, which is your eternal flame, that, again, anything that doesn't support that gets put off to the wayside, and you get to move on mentally and say, I don't have to bear all that. I don't have to do everything all myself. I don't have to take on all of these tasks, when in reality, if I just step up strongly into taking action from what I'm boldly passionate about, well, heck, everything else will fall into place. All right. 3 of Wands, 6 of Cups. I love it. Getting a chance to revisit something from the past. You're bringing in a gift from the past, whether this is maybe moving towards something you always dreamed of when you were a child. It could be actually reconnecting with an innocent part of yourself, something you used to love, and suddenly that sparks a flame, that sparks something here. I'm going to pull one more card for that, since it is at the heart of your reading here. Oh, that's way too many. Let's see if we can get a few less. Could even be bringing back someone from your past, which is interesting. Might just be for just a few of you. Yeah, the release. 10 of Cups and 10 of Swords. I think for many of you, there was wounding around a past relationship or a past attempt at building a family, or 10 of Cups can be anything that is like your ultimate heart's dream, your wish fulfillment, experienced through your emotional state. So this could be a marriage, this could be a family, home life, but there's something here with the 10 of Swords where you were brought to your knees. And I think for many of you, whatever this experience was, this could even be like where you built a business and you were so happy and you loved your career, and then all of a sudden something happened and you had to close it down and you lost it all. But this is saying you get a second chance. You get a second chance at joy. That is the 10 of Cups. It is 100% joy. This has already happened. 10 of Swords, it's gone. You were brought to your lowest point. That cycle closed out a long time ago. It's time to bring in joy. And possibly for some of you, a second chance at, the relationship and the whole 9 yards. All right, so now let's go ahead and pull for the 8 of Swords. What does Aquarius need to know for the 8 of Swords? 8 of Swords again. Well, we can't get more than double confirmation. So there we go. We have 8 of Swords and 8 of Swords. Yeah, it's all about just getting over your mental programming, saying you can. Yes, I can. That is the motto you need to have moving forward out of this week, Aquarius. Yes, I can. Remember, it's almost like these individuals, if you look at it, are wandering around kind of blindly in the dark. The more you take action from passion, the more the way is lit for them to see that they can just walk away. They can walk out of this maze. They don't have to stand in that maze. Okay, 9 of Swords again for the Queen of Wands. Yeah, many of you are afraid to show your magic. You're afraid to be fiery. You're afraid to be passionate. And remember, that passion, that fire, that brings in the right people for you to partner with. 3 of Pentacles can actually be partnership. It can also be recognition from others who see you now for you as you are, and they're the ones coming in to offer you something like, hey, come over and build a business with us, or hey, come build a family with us or me. But there's something here around where you're worried. You're worried if I really show myself this passionately, if I show my true magic. This is almost kind of like the whole Frozen, the plot line of Frozen with the main character, Elsa, where she was so afraid to show her magical powers because she thought that they would almost get the better of her, that finally just like had to explode out of her, and she still tried to hide them. And it's one of those things where it's almost like, no. It's not about hiding that part of yourself. It's about showing that part. Yeah, and here we go. Chariot. There's that 2 of Swords coming in again, and the 6 of Wands. Yeah, if you embrace your fire, you get moving again. The Chariot is getting your head and heart in alignment, getting back into the chariot, whipping those horses, and moving towards your final destination, which is the place that feels like home, your ultimate home. You're homebound. And that's the decision here. That's where there was an indecision as to where do we go? What is that? And by getting your head and heart in alignment through what you're passionate about, you'll have success. 6 of Wands, making that decision. You'll know what is right. You'll know the decision that needs to be made, and it will ultimately lead to success. Beautiful. Beautiful message. I love this message, Aquarius. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy for you guys. Whatever's happening for you, I'm so happy. Okay. Now let's go ahead and pull a final card here. More Power of Surrender deck. What does Aquarius need to know about where they need to surrender? Okay, we have 3. All right. Well, we'll take them all. Okay. So we have surrender, low self-esteem. Yeah, it's time to shine. We have surrender, denial. Okay. And we have surrender to silence, which I love. That's the King of Wands here. He's going to sit in silence and really be strong in understanding that when he makes a decision, it's the correct one. So it says, you deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Beautiful. Surrender, denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions, which I love too. Again, here comes the decision-making process again. So this is really accepting. This could be accepting your workplace as it is, accepting your significant other as they are, accepting that, there might be difficulties in pursuing this, but you can manage them. That's what the Queen of Swords says. You can manage them. Yeah. You might have to pinch pennies for a little bit, but that doesn't mean that you should prevent yourself from following what you're passionate about. Or you might have to sit there and realize that, yes, your boss is an imposing figure, and you might have to propose a change or an initiative in a couple different ways to get their attention. Maybe sending first the document via email that outlines your initiative, then requesting a meeting to then discuss it. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's not going to just like all of a sudden magically happen, but it will happen. So keep that in mind. So it says, surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. And I like this because in quiet meditation and contemplation, let go. There's a feeling here of, with the 8 of Swords coming in twice and the 9 of Swords coming in twice, there is a lot of mental anxiety, it's almost like overthinking too much, trying too many things. Like, if I do it this way, then I can try this. And if I do it here, then I can do this. And it's almost like trying to find a way out of all these things instead of just saying, I'm going to just clear my mind, trust my judgment, trust that as I sit and quietly clear my mind, the decision will become clear. It'll kind of rise to the top. And it's about getting out of your head and into that fiery, passionate place within you. What do you love? And what do you want to take action towards based on what you love? And that's going to bring in everything. That's going to bring in the new thing that you're going to want to build with another. That's going to attract the right people to you. And it's going to allow you to make the decision you've been waiting to make for some time, I think. All right, Aquarius, I will leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I will look forward to seeing you all next week for your next Illumination reading. If you'd like to book your own reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit the website to learn more about myself and to book a reading if you're interested. All right, everyone, I will see you next week, sending you lots of love on your spiritual journey forward. Bye.